Hey everyone, and welcome to Top Think. Today, we're going to learn about the top 5 hair loss solutions for men. Now let's begin. Number 1, daily mistakes. Let's start with the 3 common mistakes that are accelerating your hair loss. Many people aren't familiar with the ins and outs of hair care, but these hair care mistakes could be the number 1 reason why your hair's getting thinner or falling out. First, let's talk about brushing your hair. You may brush your hair in the morning to smooth down your bed head, but the way you're brushing could be damaging your hair follicles. Your hair follicles are pretty strong, but they get weaker over time. They lose follicle strength and they don't grow as quickly when they fall out. So when you brush your hair, you might notice little tufts of hair caught in your brush. What that means is you're brushing too hard. You're actually ripping your follicles out of your head. If your hair is healthy, then they might grow back, but if you're struggling with hair loss, this bad habit could create bald spots and permanent damage. Our second hair care mistake has to do with your hairstyle. Tight hairstyles can be a huge problem for people with thinning hair. If you constantly wear your hair pulled back, it creates tension and stress on your hair follicles. That stress inhibits growth and encourages hair loss. The technical name for this condition is traction alopecia. You can develop traction alopecia by repeatedly pulling on your hair. Hairstyles like ponytails, buns, and braids can all cause traction alopecia. That brings us to our third and final hair care mistake. Do you use chemicals to smooth, color, and style your hair? Chemicals and heat may improve the way your hair looks, but they're detrimental to the hair's health. Many people get in the habit of blow-drying their hair on high heat every morning. Blow-drying gives your hair a nice lift, but your hair follicles aren't designed to survive so much heat on a daily basis. The same goes for bleach and chemicals. Bleaching your hair does not directly cause hair loss. The same can be said for styling chemicals, but bleaching may increase your risk of hair thinning and hair breakage, both of which can worsen hair loss over time. So how do you avoid these hair care mistakes? You pay attention to the way you treat your hair. You don't have to develop an expensive hair care routine to keep your hair healthy. All you have to do is treat your hair with the care it deserves. Luckily, the damage you've done isn't always permanent. Many hair conditions can be neutralized or reversed by avoiding these common hair care mistakes. Mild cases of traction alopecia, for example, may be cured by simply changing your hairstyle. By adopting a less abrasive, looser style, you give your hair follicles the chance to relax and regenerate. So be mindful of the way you treat your hair. If you're gentle and careful with your locks, they may last for years to come. Number 2. Laser treatment. Alopecia is a word you're going to hear a lot in this video. Alopecia refers to a wide range of hair loss conditions, anything from gradual thinning to large bald patches. But alopecia isn't the only reason that people lose their hair. Some people lose their hair as they age. Others lose their hair because of their genes, their hormones, or big changes in their lifestyles. Whatever the root cause of your hair loss may be, there are modern solutions available to stop your hair loss in its tracks. Your hair may never look the way it used to, but you may be able to stop your hair loss from getting any worse. So, what procedures are available for someone with hair loss conditions like alopecia? Laser therapy is a new and effective treatment that has recently picked up steam. Laser therapy, also known as red light therapy, directly targets the tissues on your scalp. It reduces redness and inflammation, and that encourages the growth of new hair follicles. But laser therapy doesn't work for everyone. In a 2013 study from the journal Lasers and Surgical Medicine, researchers tested low-level laser therapy on a group of 48 participants. The treatment didn't work for all 48 people, but it did lead to significant hair growth in just under 40% of the trial's participants. Laser therapy is not a foolproof solution. Unfortunately, nothing on this list is going to work 100% of the time for 100% of the people. But with the right combination of treatments and lifestyle changes, you can discover a path to hair restoration that works for you. Number 3. Hair transplant. What if laser therapy doesn't work for you? What other options do you have? Laser therapy was designed to replace an older method of hair repair called a hair transplant. A hair transplant is exactly like it sounds. A doctor will remove some of your hair from one part of your head and transplant onto another. If you've lost most of the hair on the front of your head, for example, a doctor might take hair from the back of your head and move it to the front. This procedure is popular among men suffering from male pattern baldness, which is the most common cause of hair loss among men. But do they actually work? There are so many horror stories about hair transplants out there, but they seem to work for a small population of people. Hair transplants have seen tremendous success with some hair conditions and zero success with others. Because the procedure you need really depends on the type of hair loss you experience. Men struggling with male pattern baldness are often great candidates for hair transplants, as well as people with individual bald spots. But people with widespread hair loss tend to see very few results with hair transplants. They just don't have all that much hair to move around on top of their heads. So you need to learn a little bit more about your hair loss. Is it hereditary? Is it stress-related? Are you balding, or is your hair just getting thinner? If you can figure why you're losing your hair, then you may be able to stop your hair loss at the source. Number 4. Alternative oils. Medical procedures aren't the only ways to restore thinning hair and cover up those pesky bald spots. Many studies have experimented with natural remedies to slow hair loss and encourage hair growth. Among those natural remedies, several different plant oils have shown extraordinary results. The first alternative oil comes from a 2014 study from the journal Toxicology Research. Researchers experimented with peppermint oil to increase blood flow in the scalp. Ideally, the application of peppermint oil strengthens your hair follicles by supplying those malnourished hair follicles with a steady supply of blood. Rosemary leaf extract is another promising natural remedy. Instead of improving blood flow, this yellow-scented oil kills bacteria and fungi that may be infecting and damaging your hair. While not all individuals with hair loss have bacterial or fungal infections, a 2013 study from the journal Phytotherapy Research suggested that rosemary leaf extract could be used to treat male and female pattern baldness. Several other oils like coconut oil, castor oil, and even olive oil have seen positive results for people struggling with hair loss. Outside of oils, natural supplements like biotin can also make a huge difference. This comes from a 2012 study in the Journal of Clinical Aesthetic Dermatology. They found that biotin replenishes necessary nutrients in your hair follicles. Luckily, you don't need any special medicine to increase the biotin in your diet. Biotin can be found in common foods like eggs, sweet potatoes, and many kinds of nuts. In addition to curbing your hair loss, several of these natural remedies have important secondary side effects. Some are natural stress relievers, while others improve the health of your scalp. While these side effects don't directly impact your hair follicles, they're equally important in preserving the health of your hair. Number 5. Lifestyle shifts. Our last solution isn't a treatment or a procedure, but a daily habit that keeps your hair strong and healthy. If you want to stop your hair loss in its tracks, then it may be time to change your lifestyle, because your lifestyle plays a significant role in the health of your hair. For example, individuals with highly stressful careers tend to experience greater hair loss than individuals with less stressful jobs. The same can be said for people in strenuous environments and taxing relationships. Hair loss depends on your body's ability to function and regulate itself. When you're mentally overwhelmed, the functionality of your body suffers. You experience more stress, and your hair pays the price. But stress isn't the only element of your lifestyle that affects your hair. If you don't wash or clean your hair regularly, there's a good chance you're going to see thinning hair follicles and pattern baldness, especially if it runs in your family. You should include a hair care routine in your daily and weekly grooming habits. Washing and conditioning your hair is a good start, but there are other products you can use to give your hair a necessary boost. The products you need largely depend on the type of hair that you have. Some products work better for thick, curly hair, and others are made for thin, brittle hair follicles. So do a little research and find the right products for your individual hair. Once you've found the right products for you, then work those products into your daily routine. Because it's never too early to start caring for your hair. You may not care much about your hair right now, but if you lose it, you'll wish you'd started caring for your hair sooner. Hey, thank you for watching Top Think, and be sure to subscribe because more incredible content is on the way.